Hey guys, you're watching TechEdit. I'm Basil, and today I'm going to talk to you about two really good outdoor home security cameras. Now this may sound boring, but these guys are not. They're kind of a game changer. They're very convenient. Solar powered, install them outdoors. Once you're done, you can forget about them. I haven't had to think about them except for when I've been getting alerts when something's been going on. Now this video is sponsored by Eufy, but I've been using these cameras for one whole month and I have basically no complaints. I've just really enjoyed the fact that I downgraded price-wise but upgraded experience-wise to these from my old, more expensive home security cameras. I'm talking about the eufy S220 and S340, and like I said, this video is sponsored by Eufy, so watch until the end and you could be in with a chance of winning a home security camera for yourself. But now I'm going to talk more about why these have left such a good impression on me. Now, I've reviewed solar gadgets here in the UK and they have not cut the mustard with our overcast English weather. So I was basically a solar skeptic going into this experience. But Eufy's S220 and S340 have me converted. The cameras only need 2 to 3 hours of sunlight for a full day's power. They work with Google Assistant and Alexa, which was really important for me, and they're really easy to install. The reason I was looking for new outdoor cameras is because my parents' existing cameras kept running out of battery and they couldn't charge it themselves. I needed to do it. So they were very expensive, but they were also very unfit for purpose. And that's why when Eufy got in touch and asked me to do a sponsored video on them, I did some research. I looked around and they fit perfectly with what I personally needed. But it's always questionable, is what I read in a review going to match the reality of my experience? And in this case, it did. The good reviews actually reflect reality. So in this video, I'll run through my experiences with the cameras, have a look at the footage, also talk through installing them so you can see how easy or indeed not easy it is for you specifically, help you decide if either of them are, which one is right for you. And I'll also briefly cover who perhaps they aren't right for. So the first questions are, what are they and what are the differences between these two cameras? The S220 is a compact single camera. It just needs 3 hours of direct sunlight, records at up to 2K resolution, and it's 100% wire-free. In the box, you get the camera, installation materials, some paperwork, and a stick-on guide so you can drill everything to fit perfectly. As for the S340, this just needs 2 hours of direct sunlight. It records at up to 3K resolution. It's a dual camera setup, so you have a secondary 3x lens as well as a primary camera, and it also captures a 360-degree view. Both this and the S220 have a solar panel, but the S340 solar panel can be positioned somewhere sunnier than where the camera is. As a result, there's a bit more in the S340 box. So in addition to the camera and separate solar panel, fittings, installation materials, etc., you also get a 10 feet long USB-C to USB-C cable to connect that solar panel to the camera. I already mentioned that they work with Alexa and Google Assistant, but I didn't mention that they have no associated monthly fees. They've got onboard storage on each camera. They've also got Wi-Fi so you can remotely access your content. There's zero downtime as well because they're always charged up by the sun. And with Android and iOS apps, you can access them on basically any smartphone out now. As for installation, it was really simple. All I needed was a power drill, drill bit, and a hammer for bashing in those raw plugs, all stuff I already had, and obviously a step ladder to get to where I wanted the security cameras fitted. We decided to put the S340 at the front of the house so it could keep a peripheral eye on the pavement, but mainly focus on the driveway and the car, and put the S220 at the back of the house to keep an eye on the garden. It took about 5 minutes to install each one. We used the guide, drilled the hole, banged in those raw plugs like I said, then drilled the camera base in. After that, it was a simple job of clicking in the S340 and screwing in the S220. The cameras have been installed for exactly 1 month today, and they've worked perfectly with zero issues, fitting our needs to a T. The S340 works really well at the front of the house because with that 3x zoom and higher resolution recording, it can even record things like number plates and capture details of delivery drivers, etc. that could come in handy. Whereas the S220 at the back of the house is good for us because we've got a cat. We don't have a cat flap. At night, we manually let the cat in and out, and the night vision helps my parents do that without having to go outside themselves, and they can't really see the cat as well as the camera can, so that's pretty cool. The app's also really easy to use. You can set an area for the cameras to monitor, and the app will alert you when activity happens within that area. So whether it's a cat or a postman, you get pinged if you want it to ping you. But it's also really simple to reduce the notifications that alert you as well. Initially, I was concerned that the internal storage wouldn't be enough. But because the cameras don't capture 24/7 video, only events, the clips don't fill it up quickly. So both cameras have a month of content on them, but I've only used 2.2 gigabytes on the busier front door camera, the S340, and just 916 megabytes on the garden cam, the S220. There are three key reasons that these cameras work especially well for me. First off, they're solar powered, so they never need charging. This is perfect for my parents with limited mobility, for example, but they're also just super convenient for anyone with too many gadgets to charge that doesn't need to worry about their outdoor security cameras as well. Whether it's been sunny, cloudy, rain or shine, I haven't had to think about charging either camera up since they were installed. Second, I love that you don't need a subscription. Everything needs a subscription these days. So getting it for me, it's money saving, that's a win. But also, these make a really solid gift because if you give them to someone, they don't need a subscription. You're not saying, here's a present that you now have to pay for. These are just very self-contained. Self-contained from a subscription point of view, self-contained from a charging point of view. Just install them and forget about them. Finally, the cameras are UK weather ready. They are water resistant and they can handle really, really windy days. It's been super blustery the last few days and our cameras have stayed in place and worked perfectly. But what about the eufy app? Fire it up and you'll see your cameras. At a glance, you can see the Wi-Fi signal, battery life. Tap the three dots on each camera to either snooze a cam or access its settings. Under events, you'll see past recordings and you can change the monitoring mode by tapping the security button. Here you can access a predefined mode or set your own. The app's really simple to use and that's the super top level overview, which is all I really need most of the time. But if you want to go deeper, want to go more granular, and like I said, dictate what areas are monitored, etc., the sensitivity of the monitoring, you can do all that. And if you're wondering which of these cameras might be right for you, this is what I would suggest after a month. The S340 is better if you're somewhere that doesn't get too much sun, somewhere super overcast. It has a bigger solar panel, so it needs less direct sunlight, and that solar panel can be positioned up to 10 feet from the camera for direct sunlight access, even if your camera doesn't have direct access. Obviously, with 360-degree capture, the wider angle and subject tracking with that full 360-degree field of view, it's perfect if you've got a garage, you are responsible for the street in front of your house. You also want an overview of your front door and your drive, so bigger areas, the S340 definitely wins out. It also has a dedicated zoom and higher resolutions, so the quality will be that bit crisper. It's definitely more standout, it's bigger, it looks like it means business, so if you want the smallest possible solution, this one isn't the right option, and it's naturally being more capable, pricier as well. So if you don't need quite so much resolution and want something that's a little bit more subtle, then the S220 could definitely be a better shout for you. And obviously there's that cost saving too. Provided you can install it somewhere that gets at least 3 hours of sunlight a day, it could be the perfect little package. Or you could do what I've done and combine both in different parts of your home so that you can get the best of both worlds. It's clear that these cameras do what I need them to do, but who aren't they for? Like I said, I use Google Assistant and Alexa, but if you have a HomeKit home, these are not HomeKit compatible, so that is one point to note. Obviously, these aren't indoor security cameras given they rely on solar power, so if you are looking for an indoor option, you might want to look elsewhere. For me though, the eufy S220 and S340 have done everything that I needed them to do. So yes, this video is sponsored, but just check out some of the non-sponsored reviews online and you'll see exactly what I've experienced, that these cameras are super convenient and you can just forget about them and they do the job perfectly. No need to constantly worry about them being charged up. Hopefully this video has brought to life the ways the S220 and S340 fit perfectly with my needs. But if you want to win one for yourself, just comment below, tell me which one your favorite is, subscribe to the channel, like this video. All of the details are in the pinned comment below. Competition entries close soon, so get to it. And obviously, as always, if you like this video, click that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel to stay on top of everything we do, not just to win a camera. Thanks for watching.